Hello and welcome. My name is Martin, this is Millionaire Autobahn. So I'm back at my regular studio, if you will. I was on a trip to Las Vegas. So during that time I actually made some videos in regards to not trading while traveling. However, I wanted to come back to actually the Back to School series, Trading After 50, to help with your retirement funds. And today's topic is how to find stocks to day trade. I personally think it's one of the most daunting things that you actually need to do on a daily basis. It's not as simple as just opening your trading view and just go to the stocks that you always wanted to go to. That's actually not how this works. Unfortunately, it is kind of way harder than what you would hope, what you would like. So the thing is, there's like 8,500 plus stocks and ETFs out there. So to find the one or the two or the three that you need for day trading is kind of like a needle in a haystack, right? So it's not easy. I'm saying that. So of course there are several metrics on how to find these stocks. One of course is news. So for example, if the drug maker Ely Lilly comes out and says they have a new cancer drug that's off the charts, you can assume that the stock will go up. So you would actually buy some shares of Ely Lilly, and then the stock should go up to actually then match that information, and you can make a profit out of that. Or it could go the other way around. The drug they came out with to heal cancer is not effective, it's not working. In that case, the stock might go down and you can short sale that stock. I just want to point out, in case of short selling, the process is pretty much the same as if you buy for the long, so that when a stock goes up. But if a stock is under immense pressure, it could be that the exchange that particular stock is listed at might put a halt on short selling to ease the stock. Otherwise, it gets squeezed and it will go down and down and down till, kind of a bottomless end. So that's something you keep in mind. You think, oh wow, this is a good entry. All of a sudden you want to go in and then you can't. It happened to me in the past. So just that you're aware of that fact. Once you're in a short sale and that particular trigger is executed, that there's no longer short sales available for that stock, you're fine because you're already in that particular trade. So you don't have to worry about that. You can still get out. So that's fine. Just so you're aware of that fact, okay? The other thing that of course is out there is the quarterly reports. So every company that is listed on a New York Stock Exchange has to come out with quarterly reports. So those reports tell you if the company is doing good, if their revenue is fine, if their profit is good, if the order book is filled, the outlook looks fine. So with that said, you actually have some sort of a guidance that the stock might go up or down. And usually those numbers come out either after the stock market closes or right before it opens. That actually is a little bit tricky, because if it comes out after, which often happens, then you only can get in actually to get on the bandwagon, let's say, for a gaining stock in the extended trading hours. So what that means is every stock exchange, they will not just stop at 4 p.m. Eastern with trading. Just think of it, 4 p.m. Eastern is just 1 p.m. on the West Coast. So, that's kind of, I will not say not fair, but that's kind of, a little bit lame, right? So the thing is that all these exchanges actually still work longer hours. Some of them actually even work 24 hours. So what you need to do in your setting of your trading platform, you might have to request that from your trading platform, that you can use extended trading hours so that you can trade after the market closes or before the market opens. But there's, again, like with short selling, there's one caveat there. So when you're in an extended period, that means that all the regular traders are kind of out. that means that the volume of stocks is way smaller than during regular trading hours. So as an example, let's say you want to do a short sale on a bad quarterly report, and you bought, let's say, 5,000 shares of a particular stock, right? The stock, as you expected, goes down and it kind of reaches the bottom and is kind of maybe creeping up again, and you want to sell it in extended trading. The thing could be that there's not actually any buyers for that particular stock that you actually want to sell. Well, you actually buy it back, but just saying. So there's not really the guarantee that there's enough volume for traders out there in the extended trading hours. So you always have to keep that in mind if you want to short sell or just buy stocks in the extended hours, that the volume is way limited and you might get stuck, or you might not get enough of the shares that you actually wanted. So please keep that in mind, okay? So then the next thing that's out there that is kind of something you want to use on a daily basis, it's called Finvis, and in long that's called financial visualization. So it's a company that has a tool out there which I'm showing you, where you can select different settings to get the most accurate information on any given stock out there. So let's just jump in real quick into this, and I can show you that. So hold on a second. So here we have the Finvis home screen. That's how you treat it once you go to finvis.com. I'm already logged in, so usually you have a couple of ads running around. Not really intrusive, just so you know. You can use it without having an account or without actually having a paid account. I assume it has the same possibilities, but I'm actually not sure. So you just have to try that out for yourself if you want to go for the paid version or not. So with that said, so what you have here, you have some sort of a heat map on which stocks are kind of, the ones that are most green are the ones went up most, and then the ones that are red and most red obviously went down most. But what I'm getting at is the screeners, right? So what this does is it gives you a plethora of options on what to select. So just to give you a little bit of an idea. So I selected all to get all the screening settings that are out there. And you see it's like humongous, and it might be actually overwhelming on what you want. So I have created some of these that I kind of like. Let's say if you want to do all up strategy, for example, that would mean at opening, meaning when the stock market's open, that this stock actually goes up when it opens, or it went up when it opens. It changes between 0 and 20%, it could be 100%, whatever it might be. So you see that the average volume is like over 1 million, and the price range between $500 and $500 for the particular share. So, and then you can also select like the country you want this stock to be traded. You can select anything, so you're actually not limited to just the 8,500 just stocks available in the US. You can select any country out there, or all countries. So you have the whole world that you can look at. And then with that, obviously, you're like in the tens of thousands, maybe hundreds of thousands of stocks out there. So you're not limited to just the US. However, I personally think that the US stock market, it is the largest in the world, and because of that it has the most trading volume by far in the world, and so you have the most possibilities. So it makes no sense to really look somewhere else. It just makes no sense, in my humble opinion, right? So the thing is, as said, then you come up with a list of stocks, and you can look at them and then browse through and see the ones that you actually then think you like. So these settings here, what I will do, there's something called edit screen, and these are all the settings that I've made. So what I will do, I will have a Google Doc in the link down below, and with that said, I have to say this is no financial advice. This is just me, a guy on YouTube that shows his trading journey. And so all the information you get is only for entertainment purposes. Please keep that in mind, because even the best stock screener will not prevent you from losing money. So just keep that in mind, please, okay? So nevertheless, so here are all the settings. So what I will do, I will actually put these things out there in a Google Doc so you can download them and then put it in your screener so you have a starting point. I will not say that these are actually perfect. I'm still playing around with them, but it kind of helps to have a starting point on what might be, good to start your trading journey when it comes to screening, right? So that's that. So going back to these screeners and settings, as you see, there's a lot out there. There's many videos out there that actually explain some of these. What are the important settings? What does volume mean, for example? So volume means how many shares are actually traded for a particular stock. So the higher the volume, the easier it is to get in and out of a position, right? That's important. Then also, like when it says 20-day moving average, what does that mean if a stock is over that? So that means that, let's say, on today's date, when you look at this, the stock is higher than it was over the period of the last 20 days. So it seems like, okay, the stock is always going up. And there's different ones where you can select actually the time frame for the moving average, if it's like 5 days, 10 days, or even just hours, right? So those are the things you might want to look at, and you got to play around with it to find your perfect setting. Because everybody's different, the same with the trading, you have to find your perfect setting that you're comfortable with. Play around with these, get some more information about these. When you hover over them, they usually give you the information on what this actually does. So that might help a little bit, but it's kind of a complex thing. So you might want to, maybe Google a bit deeper on what these settings are doing. But in general, just start with what I have in my document and then just go from there. I think, to be honest, that is the easiest way to start this journey into finding the right stocks. So, but then actually, with that said, there's still actually some issues there. You get, as I mentioned, with this screener, you might get like 10, 20, 40, 50, how many ever stocks that fit that search criteria. You will get all of those. So important to know is that this best works at the moment the market opens. Yes, you get information on these stocks at any time of day, but it always is best at the time the market opens. And that brings you a little bit in a predicament. So let's say there's 50 items in your search result. So you browse through them, you look at them, get a high level overview what you think this might be a good stock to trade. With that, you're already kind of in maybe 5, 10, 15 minutes into the trading day. So once you have, let's say, your 1 to 5 stocks that you kind of want to trade today, and you look then in your trading platform and you see, oh damn, it already went up like 3-4%. And then you're kind of a little bit in a predicament on, do you still want to go in or not? So that's actually, and that's my problem, not yours. But I have this kind of little bit of a fear, let's say. So when the stock already went up, let's say 3-4% on a given day, I kind of have the fear that the moment I go in, that it actually, just like 5 seconds later, it goes down. And the funny thing is, it actually happened to me quite a couple of times. And so I often then don't go into this particular trade. And then I'm kind of, let's say, pissed at myself because the stock still went up another 5%. I'm like, damn, I should have gone in and just, take that particular risk. It was a good risk to reward ratio. But still, my brain still figures all these things out, and I'm sure you're in the same position. Others might be, very easygoing. I'm still very cautious. I don't want to lose money, as kind of everybody does, right? So I'm a little bit more hesitant when it comes to those things. But in general, this stock screener gives you all the information you need to find the stocks to actually do your day trading. That is I think, the hardest part actually of doing the day trading. However, I will actually come up with a video in the near future, and maybe in a month or two, of a different solution that I came up with. I have a new trading strategy that I'm currently still implementing over the last 4 or 5 weeks that might actually eliminate completely to search for stocks, because it has a preset amount of stocks that are in a particular area. And so you don't have to like go through 8,500, you only have, let's say, 10, 15, and you look at the same ones every single day. However, that only kind of works if you plan to do like the 1% strategy that I'm kind of doing, just because these stocks might not go up like 10, 20% on a given day. So you will not make gains of like $1,000, $2,000, $10,000 on a given day. And as I said before, that's not my goal. My goal is long term, so 1% is fine per day. If I make that, it's good. If I don't make it, well, that's good either. So that's kind of my goal, because I see this as a long-term investment. So I just have to actually get good at the times I execute these orders. That is the thing I am personally still kind of struggling with. But you know, it will get better over time. It's like with any other business, any other job, it takes time to be good in it. And so that's where I'm at. So yeah, so that's it for today's video. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe if you liked it. There will be more videos in the Back to School series. The next video in this series should be about patterns and support and resistance lines. What do you want to look at while a stock is moving to actually get in or out of a trade, right? So that will come up next, and I will see you again soon. All right, thank you. Bye.